Hello and welcome to Pantheon of the Geeks. You join us for a look through on Malign Portents. We have the dice, we have the box of cards, and we have the book.
Do you want to look at these
Yeah,
first, or do you want
do.
to look at this first?
We'll have a look at these and see if we can get them out.
Because I haven't opened these, obviously, they're still sealed.
And I want to know what they're all about.
We've both read the book.
We have?
Yes.
Although I've only read the story, you've probably read all the
Yeah.
bits and pieces. All the, not instructions, what am I trying to say?
Instructions. How to build
How to build, yeah.
a Malign Portent.
Yeah, my brain has just gone on a holiday.
The rules.
Thank you.
Rules.
Rules, that's what I was trying to
Let's
say.
look at these dice.
They're the dice.
You want to get them. Guess these are the...
Okay.
Oh, quite nice.
Oh, they're see-through-y.
Are they? Oh yeah, the outer part, the darker part, see-through.
Yeah, it
It's quite cool.
a little bit
I presume that's a
yellowy.
1 and I presume that's a 6. Cool.
Pretty cool. Very nice. Very nice dice.
And there we have prophecy points. I'll get to that
Proper.
nearer the end. Oh yeah, so these are just numbered cards to help you remember how many prophecy points you have.
Very nice.
Signs from the heavens.
So it says you get 36 signs of malign portents, along with 24 harbinger specific signs and prophecy point counters.
Right, so these ones will be for the harbingers. So it should be 4 sets, yeah. And don't forget Magmancer. And one for the Dark Arts. Sweet.
Ah, nice.
Yeah. And then we have the Writhing Serpent and the Red Mist and such like, Falling Star, Blooded Skull. Yeah, so these are all the things that I'll get to later on. But quite useful having the cards. That's an example card for you. But I'll get into what all those do. It will be quite useful to have the cards. It means not to keep referring to the book.
Cool.
Right. Book. So it's a short book. It's full of cool stuff, right?
Yeah, it is actually. Some nice pictures in there and stuff,
Yeah.
like the paintings and that, yeah.
So everything in this book is optional. You do not have to use everything in this book. You can use bits of this book, you can use whatever part of this book you wish to sort of represent the malign portents in your games of Age of Sigmar. Everything is totally optional. So obviously, like everything else, agree it with the opponents beforehand. Chaos Ascendant.
That was just the beginning bit, wasn't it, really? Starting off about the gates, the realm wars and stuff like that.
So it recaps across the realm wars, which has been the overarching story in Age of Sigmar so far. And comes to the end of the realm wars, basically.
But in these little sections here, it's a bit like what's going on kind of thing, aside from the realm wars, what's going on in the background, I found.
So there's a few little bits like that in that, which is quite interesting. I don't want to spoil it too much. Though there probably will be spoilers in this video, so just to warn you. And now we're going about the mortal realms. Do you remember that bit?
Very vaguely, because I read it last night.
Yeah. So it just basically is building up from the end of the Realm Gate Wars, what people are doing, and them realising Nagash is up to something. The portents start to happen. People having sleepless nights and all the visions people start getting. Because Nagash is basically up to no good.
Quite freaky at one point where it starts going on about people going missing and bodies being hung from the sails of windmills and stuff.
Yeah, so people are waking up and like farmers and the windmills just covered in corpses.
And people going into towns where they're kind
bloody
of like
footprints along the floors.
And people floating in the air, completely comatose and stuff, and there's the whole villages of these kind of people. It kind of paints a very dark and eerie picture, to be quite honest.
It's quite good, actually. It's what Sigmar needs. It needs a bit more
freakiness
of the gothic horror which was in Warhammer Old World. It's a bit more story, a bit more lore. It's kind of what people have been crying out for who thought that Age of Sigmar doesn't have a good enough lore. I mean, it's like with any new game, its lore isn't established. And they did blow up the Old World's lore, which was a shame because it was excellent. And again, they just brought Gotrek Gunson back, so the Slayers returned. Which is interesting. We thought he was dead, and he had quite a good ending. So it's kind of, for me, it's cool to see him back. But at the same time, it's like, but we had a good ending and everything. So it's like,
they wrapped it up so nicely.
Yeah, it's like Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides. You know, we had an ending and we're fine.
Yeah, we were happy with it.
I don't know. That was just an example. But anyway, I've not read the book, so I can't really comment on that. But just this story, back to this. Basically, Nagash is up to no good. The whole time that he's been helping Sigmar, he's also been running his own game in the background.
Yeah.
He's been gathering. Basically, it does explain the realms, and this is pretty well explained. My explanation is going to be pretty rubbish, but
Shish. Yeah.
Shush. The realm of Shush, like all realms, is mainly powered around the edges, and the centre part is where most people live because there's least sort of chaotic powers, if you will, not chaos, but magic
and things like that.
Around the edges of this of each realm. So around the edges of Shish, basically, if you went there. Or Shaish, if you went there, basically people would sort of walk, and the closer they get to the edge, the quicker they age, until they just fall to pieces into dust because they've aged, because they're dead.
Yeah, and that happens
stuff like that.
The skeletons as well, kind of thing.
Yeah, even skeletons.
Them as well.
And the realm substance in this realm, because every realm has a different substance which kind of powers it, is grave sand.
Yes.
And basically Nagash has been gathering all the grave sand.
Yeah, he tells Arkham the Black to go out and bring me all the grains.
Grain by grain.
Yeah, literally.
Because literally a skeleton cannot carry more than one grain without basically undoing itself.
Yeah.
So there's like armies of ants, of skeletons, just
going
marching across Shish, just carrying these grains of sand in their hands. And there's a few pictures of that, either on the website or in the book, which look pretty cool. But anyway, this is Sigmar's response to all what's going on, which is the War Squire Citadels and the Lord Ordinators, two models we've unboxed, really.
Yes.
Rather than just going with an army into Shish, but there is some Stormcast there anyway, we'll get on to that. Rather than just marching in, he basically climbs the heavenly stair and burning himself, he grabs all this Azurite stuff, which sounds like it should be out of World of Warcraft. Just saying. Isn't that called Azurite?
Yes.
Because Azeroth. Yeah. The stuff that's going to be in the next expansion is called Azurite, isn't it?
Yeah.
So this is Azure. So this is nothing to do with World of Warcraft. Honest. Anyway.
Doesn't he see a few Taurens kind of like chipping away at it, and he's like, I don't know what you are, but I'm just going to take it.
Well. Anyway, this stuff burns him, but he takes it and he launches it across space and slams into the ground. That's where you get the War Squire Citadels from. They're basically big chunks of meteorite which he has thrown, and then he sends out his Lord Ordinators to build bases around them. Some of them have been taken over by friendlies, and they're quite happy for the Lord Ordinators to build like camps around them and whatever they're building and whatever they're doing with them. Because these guys are like engineers, which we said a bit about in previous video. But and the ones which have also been taken over by bad guys, that's where you fight a battle over it,
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. Reason to fight, at least. This bit is about the four gods.
This bit I found quite interesting because it shows how all four of them deal with it. I mean, kind of like Sigmar's kind of learnt, I think, a little bit from the Realm Wars not to just throw people at the gods and just...
these Stormcasts are immortal, but not immortal.
They're not immortal because every time they die, they lose a bit of themselves. So I think he's kind of learning that. But it was interesting to see each god kind of like just go wide-eyed, going, what? Kind of thing.
What's going on here? What's happening with the gods? Because each of these gods are starting with visions.
Yeah.
Of like deserts and skeletons and
order,
Nurgle, and unchanging static order,
tasting ash and stuff like that when he's in his
It's very cool because
Yeah.
Cornrat obviously reacts in the way you think he would. He's angry.
He just wants blood.
And he crushes a bronze skull.
Skull, yeah, because basically he sees that if everyone gets turned undead and gets turned to skeletons, where's the blood going to come from?
I mean, he's got his skulls. He was happy with that.
Yeah, but he needs blood and skulls, not just skulls. So
like,
he's worried about that. Where's the blood going to come from? The blood sacrifices and stuff. Where's he going to get his shampoo from?
Exactly. There's things you got to worry about when you come. And Tzinch is worried about, obviously, the unchangingness of the nature of the undead.
Yeah.
There is no change, it's just static, but so it's a complete...
Ordered.
The opposite of what Tzinch is.
Yeah.
In a way, it's the opposite of what Nurgle is as well. Nurgle's not happy with it because there's no way that...
Well, there's nothing for him to
new
rot,
life can be given to things. Because it's like death and life is Nurgle. He's the cycle. It's what he's always hated about the undead.
Yeah.
The vision turns his cauldron to ash, and he's like...
and he tastes it as well. Yeah. He tastes ash in his mouth and everything, and he's like, I don't like this.
Now we have the smallest contribution from Slaanesh.
Very small.
He finds it all very dull.
Yeah, he's basically like...
He sees the endless... He likes the megalomania side, but then he sort of like sees the endless dullness of...
Yeah, the boring, plan. That it's just going to be boring.
So all four gods are represented here, and then obviously Overleaf,
the Horned Rat,
is represented here as well. Horned Rat's not happy because he sees Nagash as an usurper, because obviously the Horned Rat's planning something big.
Yeah.
In fact, he's planning on taking the prime seat above all the other gods. Of the evil pantheon, if you will.
Yeah.
And
he doesn't like
Nagash because Nagash is going to usurp his position.
Yes.
So, a bit about Dark Oath. Dark Oath. I always have that problem. Dark Oaths. Dark Oaths. The Dark Oath War Queens. I did that last time.
You did.
And then we have a bit about the fungoid cave shaman. So this teaches a little bit about all the heralds and death on the winds and Knights of Shrouds. That's quite interesting with the Knights of the Shrouds because they're basically all betrayers.
Yeah, very briefly scanned over that. Yeah. I was reading more the storyline kind of thing than.
But it's quite interesting where they came from. They've all betrayed their own people for immortality.
Yeah.
A bit more about the Realm of Shisham and basically that Nagash is building the Black Pyramids. There it is, upside down.
Nice.
He's basically moving all the power from the edge of the realm to the centre of the realm, and it's causing a massive upset. I don't know really what it just says. It means dire consequences. I don't know whether it means Nagash is able to harness all the power of the undead. Or something. I don't know. We don't know what the dire consequences are. He probably won't succeed because generally these things are thwarted. But he believes at this point. He believes at this point his plan cannot not succeed.
Yeah.
Because it's been that long and it's sort of envisioning that even Tzinch didn't see it coming.
I think that he feels that if he can get everybody's life force and stuff, I mean, it could even affect the Stormcasts. In a way, because if he's got their sounds,
maybe he could affect their immortality.
He could affect and their feelings.
The thing we missed
thoughts.
about the grave sound is the grave sound is actually people's lives.
Exactly, and they were once people.
The interesting bit in this was it said that if you could go and find your own grave sound and contain it in a container, you could reverse the flow of your own grains and significantly increase your life.
Yeah,
kind of like an egg timer. Yeah. But like the usual sort of thing you see with death.
Yeah.
And the egg timer. It's kind of that.
There was also something about them, if they lost some of them, then it reduced people's life cycle kind of thing. Something else happened. It started reducing their life.
That's what was happening with the grains of sand the skeletons were taken.
Yeah.
Each one reduced somebody's life by a small amount.
Yeah.
But not noticeably.
Yeah.
So that's why no one noticed it, because each grain of sand was taking over eons.
Yeah.
So it was like,
it's like, what kind of damage have they actually been doing? I mean, what damage could it do to any of the major players?
Exactly. So the other story that's going on in this is basically the Dark Oath Queen has invaded the lands with the chaos as a reaction to what Khorne said, go forth and conquer.
Yeah.
Nurgle's army's gone with them. And they're a little bit of a disagreement now. They should proceed. They don't fight over it, but the Nurgle guys stay in a forest because he wants to spread contagion in the forest. And the Khorne guys go off and continue their fight.
And do what they need to.
And run into a bunch of Stormcasts, basically. The Stormcasts are heading towards Nagash, but one of the Stormcasts inverted commas,
Yeah.
basically says, "Oh look, there's some corn guys over there. Didn't they really? They weren't the people that killed your people ages ago."
Yeah.
And angers the Lord Ordinator,
Yes.
and he goes after the Chaos guys.
He does.
It turns, just a big spoiler, but it turns out the other guy who's convinced him was actually the Changeling.
Yeah.
So
That's a really smack in the face
Yeah.
at the end, because you're just like,
yeah.
you don't see it coming, and you're like, oh.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, that sort of forces the Stormcasts and the
Corn.
Khorne to fight, and during the battle, it unveils a massive sort of eruption in the earth, which unveils the chasms underneath. And underneath are the goblins and the orcs who've been sneaking along, following these armies. So then you have like the battle of the three armies, while Tzinch is doing something and sort of like it's gone to sort of his plan, and Nagash doesn't really care because it's slowing them down and stopping them from attacking his realm.
Yeah.
Because Nagash is that supremely confident that he's sent out heralds to all the different lands to say, "I'm about to take over, join me."
Yes.
Which is where you get the Knights of the Shroud from. They're all the betrayers who did join him.
Yeah.
So that's where the story's at. They said it's a short story, really.
It kind of sets it up, though. It sets up that what's going to happen next kind of thing, and it's set up quite nicely as well.
Yeah, the Doom March is all about that part. And that's it, really. That's the story part of it. It's quite interesting, but it's not very long. It does set the scene after the Realmgate Wars, and it sets it for a darker time.
Yeah.
When there's not just chaos versus order. I mean, obviously, Nagash is becoming a player now. And I'm hoping that means we're going to see some new factions and models and such like.
Some new death models,
Unfortunately, we haven't yet, and they've already brought out the Legions of Nagash. I'm just hoping that they'll bring out like Soul Blights and Death Death Rattles and all the others. Because this is just little stories of what else is going on in the world. I'll not read those ones out. Shall carry on. And we have a few little pictures of the four factions that they're fighting in this. Well, four arms of the four factions, which is mainly the Ironjaws from the Orcs and Nurgle, obviously. And say four factions, but it's kind of Nurgle and Khorne that are represented
together. Yeah.
And it's quite funny. I missed a bit out. It's quite funny what happens to the Nurgle champion guy who's built a base.
Oh, that one, yeah.
Yeah, he builds these walls that will stop the wraiths from coming through the walls. So they just come through the floor instead, and he gets decapitated by this guy.
Yeah.
By this guy.
That dude.
Yeah. Knight of the Shroud. And the Rise of the Damned. So we're on to War Scrolls.
Yeah.
So the realm of battle, and this is how you basically use it. So I'm going to move around so I can actually read this better. So wizards know the Pale of Doom, which is the Pile of Doom, which is casting value 6. If you successfully cast, you can pick an enemy with 18 inches of the caster that is visible to them, and then you subtract 2 from the bravery characteristics of that unit, and unit you picked until your next hero phase. And then we have realm commands. So you can use these command abilities. Honor the Dead. You generally use the command ability, pick a friendly unit 12 inches of them and roll dice. The dice is less than the number of models that have been slain from that unit you picked. Add one attacks characteristic to the weapons used by that unit until the end of this turn. Soulforge Sacrifice. If your general uses the command ability, pick a friendly unit that was in 3 inches of them. Allocate any number of wounds to that unit. You can heal 1 wound that has been allocated to your general for each wound that you allocate. And then we have some little realmscape features. So those are the different realmscapes that you can fight on. Feel free to pause as usual. Then we have the Power of Death. So, in order to determine the effects of the Power of Death, you make a note whenever a unit is slain on the battlefield. At the start of the following hero phase, the players whose turn it is rolls a dice and adds a score for each friend or foe that was destroyed in the previous turn. If no one was destroyed, you don't roll, basically. And then you consult this chart, and that's the effect it has on the game. Cool. So you can have anything from like
Withering
Wind, which is units on the battlefield, friend and foe suffer 1 mortal wound. And then cheating death, you can pick a friendly unit that's been destroyed, and whose models have combined wounds characteristics of 10 or less. And basically they return to the battlefield.
Ooh. Nasty.
Indeed. So the Malign Portents. So this is what the cards are for as well, the prophecy points. So at the start of each battle round, players generate a pool of prophecy points. These can be expanded over the course of that battle round to interpret the signs, and any unspent prophecy points are lost at the end of the battle round. To determine that number of prophecy points they generate, each player rolls d6 and adds the following modifiers. +3 if you're fighting in the realm of death. +3 if you have a harbinger on your side. +3 if a hero from your army is garrisoning a war square citadel.
Alright.
And +1 for each priest and wizard you have.
Oh.
I have on the battlefield. And then you generate your points and you can spend them on either, if you've got a harbinger, they come with a set of powers. That's what each faction has got a set.
Right.
But you can also spend them on a guiding malign portent. So you can either choose or roll at the beginning of the game, and your army will be following this portent. So it's what's brought them to the battlefield. Either like they've had a vision of the Bale Moon, for instance. So the generals had this vision. He's been brought here. The prophecy points are ticking over. And in that case, you would then turn to the Bale Moon page, where you don't use the Bale Moon cards, and as you use your prophecy points, you'd spend them. So for 2 prophecy points, you can interpret the sign at the start of any battle shock phase, pick an enemy unit wholly within 18 inches of the interpreter. In this phase, subtract d3 from that unit's bravery characteristic.
Okay.
For instance. Or the 5 points one is the Weeping Moon. Interpret the sign at the start of your opponent's turn. In that turn, subtract 1 from the move characteristic and the run and charge rolls for the enemy. So you're slowing them down, controlling them. And all these little things can build up. What I was looking for though. Signs from the heavens. Signs from the Great Necromancer. Looking at the cards. So, for instance, on a card you've got Sign of the Death Cap. And that's got 2 prophecy points at the bottom. And that is interpret the sign in your hero phase. The interpreter consumed the Death Cap mushrooms in your previous hero phase. The effects of the Death Cap mushroom last until the next hero phase. And you can do this again in future phases, and so on and so on. Because normally, what's his name? Stink Mullet. He has a Death Cap mushroom. You can use it once per battle. But if you use that, you can keep using the ability. So those are the actual Malign Portents. That's what it's all about. These are the things that have brought us to battle. And then skirmishing in the realm of death. It gives you the points for playing skirmishes, points for the 4 harbingers, and how to adjust the prophecy points, because they're just +1s. You'll get the +3s.
Right.
For if you're playing like the small skirmish battles, which makes sense. And I've got all the command abilities and everything for levelling up to the Path of Glory and such like. Then we have the battles, the Battle of the Well of Souls, that's a skirmish battle. And we have the Blood Moon Rising, skirmish battle. All very cool. Oh, sorry, it's a narrative battle. These ones, the battle plans, they came from below. And the Twice Death. We've got Dark Omens, Heralds of Woe. And then obviously got the rules for like the Lord Ordinator. I'm going to let Claire read that one out.
Right, okay. I have to stand up and move around. Right. So we have a movement of 5 there, wounds of 5, bravery of 9, save 4+. We have Astral Hammers, which is 1 inch range, 5 attacks, 4+ to hit, 3+ to wound, nothing for rend, and 1 damage. So that's that bit there. And then we have the abilities. So we've got Arcane Engineer. So add 1 to hit rolls for friendly order war machines within 6 inches of any friendly Lord Ordinators. We have the Meteoric Slam. So if you roll 2 or more to hit rolls of 6 for this model's Astral Hammers, then after its attacks have been resolved, pick 1 enemy unit within 1 inch of it, and that unit suffers D3 mortal wounds. And we have command abilities, which is Rain of Fire. If this model is your general and uses this command ability, then pick a friendly order war machine that is wholly within 12 inches of it at the start of your shooting phase. You can fire twice with that war machine of that phase. It's pretty nice, pretty cool. Nasty.
Then you get the signs from the heavens, which are also the same as on the cards. These are the individual harbingers' profits, points that you can spend. Each one's similar in some of the abilities that they've got. Some are different, but some are similar. It does mean that each army can have some similar abilities. Basically. Then we have the Dark Oath Queen.
You want me to read that
Yeah,
one out?
please.
Okay. So we've got a move of 6 inches, wounds of 5, bravery of 8, and a 5+ save. The weapons we have Warlord Axe, 1 inch range, 4 attacks, 3+ to hit, 3+ to wound, -1 to rend, and 1 damage. We have abilities of Savage Duelist, which is... Oh, sorry, I just kicked the camera.
Fun.
For fun, just I felt like it. Attacks made with this model... Sorry, attacks made with this Warlord Axe have a damage characteristic of 2 if they target an enemy, hero or monster. In addition, each time a wound inflicted by this model slays a hero or monster, add 1 to the attack characteristic of this model's Warlord Axe for the remainder of the battle. That's quite good.
Infernal Rune Shield.
Yep. Inferno Rune Shield. Roll a dice each time you allocate a wound or mortal wound to this model. On a 6+, the wound is negated and the attacking model's unit suffers 1 mortal wound after all their attacks have been made. We then have the Will of the Gods. That sounds like...
The Will of the Gods!
Yeah! That was in Troy, wasn't it? Yeah. It's the Will of the Gods.
Bird signs.
Bird signs.
You're going to base his war on bird signs. Yeah?
Yeah. If this model is your general and uses this command ability, you can re-roll failed charge rolls for friendly slaves to darkness units that are wholly within 12 inches of it at the start of the charge phase.
Yep. We've got the signs from the Dark Gods, which again, pretty much got the same sort of prophecies,
Yeah.
but for the Dark Gods. You can read that on there. It's a bit shiny, sorry. Shiny.
Don't start.
Then we have the Fungoid Cave Shaman. Move 5 wounds 4 bravery, 6+ save, Moonsicle and Spore Squig with vicious teeth. Yep. Range 1 for both these abilities. The Moonsicle has 3 attacks, 4+ to hit, 4+ to win, -1 rend and 1 damage, whereas the vicious teeth has 2 attacks with a 4+ and a 4+ to hit and to wound and 1 damage. His real speciality is like his Death Cap Mushroom, I do like that. So once per battle, unless you're using prophecy points, then you can continue it. You can choose for the Fungoid Cave Shaman to consume a Death Cap Mushroom. If you do so, then until your next hero phase you cannot attack with this model's Moonsicle. Moonsicle. Again. But you can reroll failed casting, unbinding and save rolls for this model. I can cast 1 traditional spell with this model. Hallucinate Steeper, roll dice each time you allocate a wound or a mortal wound on a 5+, it's ignored basically. Spore Squig, subtract 1 from hit roll for attacks that target this model. And then Fungoid Cave Shaman is a wizard. and they can attempt to cast one spell in each of the hero faces. And one spell in each enemy hero phase. It knows the Arcane Bolt, Mystic Shield, and Spore Maw. Spore Maw. Spore Maws have a casting value of 7 if successfully cast. Each enemy unit within D6 inches of this suffers D3 mortal wounds. And his command ability is, if this model is your general and uses the command ability, then you can charge with one friendly Grot or Orruk unit that is wholly within 18 inches of it at the start of the following charge phase, even if it ran or retreated earlier in the same turn.
Nice. That one's 18 inches then, is it? Because the other two were 12, weren't they? Ooh.
And then we have the Signs of Gorkamorka. Maybe they're bringing Gorkamorka back. I doubt it, but you never know.
You never know.
And then we have Knight of Shrouds. Boost 6, 5 wounds, 10 bravery, and a 4+ save. Sword of the Stolen Hours. Range 1, 4 attacks, 3 to hit, 3 to win, -1 to rend, and 2 damage. He can fly. Fly. He's ethereal. Or ethereal.
Ethereal.
Ignore modifiers, positive or negative, when making save rolls for this model. Stolen Hours, each time a wound is inflicted by this model's sword. Stolen Hours slays an enemy hero, heal 1 wound allocated to this model. And Spectral Overseer. If the model is your general and uses the command ability, then the command phase this turn, add 1 to rolls to friendly Night Hunt models while they're in 9 inches of it. So if he's leading a Night Hunt, that's pretty good. I'm not saying what I'm doing if I do on Death though. Signs of the Great Necromancer. That's them though. Now we have the War Square Citadel. A nice picture of it.
That's really cool.
So this is a one War Square Citadel which is crowned with either a battlement or a domed arcanoscope. I just call it a telescope personally.
That sounds posh.
So a celestial construct. If a friendly hero is garrisoned in this building at the start of your hero phase, you can use the Azurite Realmstone bound within it to discern the skein of future possibilities. You do so, roll a dice and refer to the table below to see what happens. And basically you have a bunch of stuff that can happen. And if a friendly Lord Ordinator is garrisoned in the War Square Citadel, you do not need to roll. You just pick the one you want.
Oh, that's nice.
Doomed Arcanoscope. If a friendly hero is garrisoned in the War Square Citadel with a Doomed Arcanoscope, you can attempt to unbind 1 spell with them in each enemy hero phase in the same manner as a wizard. If there are already unbind spells in this manner, they can attempt to unbind 1 additional spell in each enemy hero phase while garrisoned in this building. And then we're going about garrisons. So we can garrison hero, monsters. If you've got battlements, basically, if it's a War Square Citadel, it's got battlements, it can also be garrisoned by a single monster that can fly.
Oh,
You can garrison a dragon in it, for instance. Just for fun.
Or was it going to fit?
I don't know. It's a flying monster, though.
You put a dragon on it.
Yeah. And then we end off with the battle profiles, basically showing that they're all leaders. They're all 1/1 sized units. The Lord Ordinator is 100 points, the Dark Oath Queen's 80, the Shaman's 80, and the Knight of Shrouds is actually the most expensive at 120.
That is expensive.
Yep, so that's how much they are to have into your armies. And that's that. That's the book.
Nice. Nice little add-on.
If you're interested in advancing the story of Age of Sigmar, it's kind of a must. Because it does. It does what it says on the tin, though. It's a nice little story about what's going on with Nagash. The cards are useful. Because you've got, as we said before, you've got those, and then you've got the prophecy points. So as you build up your prophecy points, you can keep them to one side. Traditionally, I'd probably use a dice. But You know, it's like you then pick that dice up to roll it for something else.
And then you realise,
you're like,
oops, I shouldn't have done that.
no, what was it?
Yeah.
Traditionally, that's what I do. Especially with wounds dice.
It's nice to have cards.
So why I'm glad we got those Age of Sigmar ones, because it's been better since we got them, because I don't tend to pick those ones up.
That is true.
They're 8-sided dice, so it's like,
yes,
I don't need to roll that. Or if I did roll that, you might be a bit upset when I need a 6+ and I roll an 8.
Yes, the wound markers. Yeah,
I rolled an 8. How did you do that on a 6-sided dice? I don't know.
Cheat,
yes. So the dice are cool that you saw at the beginning. So that is Malign Portents so far. I think the only thing we didn't get for it are the other 2 heralds.
Yeah, I might get them over time, maybe.
If I start a Death Army, which I do plan on doing in the future, and I still don't know which one, I'll probably consider, if I got a Nighthaunt, the Knight of Shreds to be the leader, because he's quite cool. It's a nice model. But there we go.
Yep.
There's nothing else. That's it, guys.
Yeah.
For now, until there's something else comes out that we want.
Yep.
So stay tuned for that. The other videos we're doing some board game videos. If you've not seen, we're doing quite a few board game videos. We've got One Deck Dungeon coming up. We've also got the Battle for Rokugan, if I don't know how you say that. I'm murdered at stuff like that all the time.
Rokugan. Rokugan, we'll go with that.
Okay, Rokugan.
Yeah, we've got
Zombicide.
Zombicide Green Horde.
Green Horde.
Why have you gone all weird?
I'm just being silly now. Because I can't say the other names properly. That's it, I'm not saying that one properly.
You can say Fallout properly.
Yeah, Fallout's awesome. Right, so thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned for those things and whatever else Games Workshop brings out that we deem worthy to buy.
Yes.
Because we've not done as many videos, you'll probably have noticed over the last few months regarding miniatures, unboxings, buildings, playing. We've just not had the chance to do it. We've been very busy. And also running out of room to store things.
Yes.
So we probably should sell some stuff, really. But there we go. I'm muttering now. Thanks for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, so you see more of our shenanigans. And hopefully we'll see you again soon.
See you soon.
Bye for now.
Bye.